Top of the morning to you. The Astros have emerged as favorites, or maybe they're talking to Arenado. We've heard some rumors about Santander. We'll talk about outfield options. There's a lot to talk about over coffee on Saturday. Let's get going right now.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and Back to the Bullpen on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, and iHeartRadio, where I'm always positive, always Stros. And tonight, Mike and I will be talking about these same things. I can't wait to get his insight later on. But Eric, here we are. You sent me a text, and I thought it was a joke. I was like, bro, I'm eating my breakfast. I'm drinking out of my Locked On coffee mug. What are you doing? Interrupting my morning time, and you're like, let's do a show. And I'm like, okay, say no more. I didn't know what was going on. Looked it up. Man, it's really it's crazy. The winter meetings have continued in Houston.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check us out. It's cool to become an everydayer. Somebody listens to our podcast every day, and we appreciate each one of y'all. We had about 7,000, 8,000 people watch our show yesterday. We appreciate everybody. If you watched us for the first time yesterday, first time today, go and subscribe to us. Make us first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go ahead and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. So, Brett, I know that the Astros are likely, with everything that's going on, I know if always be yourself. If you can't be yourself, always be Alex Bregman. So I have this T-shirt on, and this is kind of my way to pay tribute to former Astros, and it kind of feels like that right now. It feels like the Astros made their best attempt. I do think that they did raise their offer from that 5 years or 6 years, 156 million, whatever it was. But I don't think it was enough. I think that Boris and Bregman, they did want that $200 million deal. They feel like they are worth it. They are a champion. He is a championship caliber player, and he feels like that it's worth it. So I think that they are waiting, and they're getting some nibbles, whether it's the Yankees, whether it's the Phillies. Bregman is going to go somewhere else. The Astros are not budging there. So what the Astros are doing is they are looking elsewhere. They knew they weren't going to be able to re-sign Kyle Tucker. They thought they would be able to re-sign Alex Bregman. And as long as he's still a free agent, there's still that little bit of a chance. But from everything that I've read over the past 24 hours, it makes me think less and less that he's going to come back and become an Astros player. So, Brett, I think what they're doing, and I know a lot of people are like, well, Nolan Arenado, he's washed. There's no way he's good enough. He batted .272 with 16 home runs, 71 RBIs. He had a .719 OPS last year. His OPS plus was not seriously great, but he's not the same player he used to be. His OPS plus was 101. It's better than a first baseman we have. So I think that he may not have had the best season last year,
right,
but the Astros are looking to upgrade. They're still trying to be competitive. And what they're trying to do here is they're trying to trade for a third baseman because there's no free agents out there. They're trying to do it without giving up a lot of prospects. And the only way to do that, Brett, is to take on a big chunk of the salary. They're going to try and negotiate that down, but it's going to end up taking up most of the salary.
They can give up a bad contract if they take on some of the salary. They could give up Ryan Presley in the deal. I don't know.
Presley's not a bad deal. It's just a high deal.
Well, yeah. Right. Well, but you're going to have to do something because Nolan Arenado has $27 million attached to him. I think they would rather pay. Look, here is what you have as your options right now. It is Bregman. He is out of the Astros like price range. He's not even close to where they need him to be financially. The Astros aren't there. Okay.
Right.
So they go to Arenado. You could take the money that you are going to allocate to Alex Bregman. You could you could take that and put it into an outfielder. There's the rumor out there about Anthony Santander, about him being on the Astros radar, number one. Number two, that would give you a legit corner outfielder. Okay. You could bring in Arenado, move Isaac Paredes to first, because we've heard that his third base glove isn't that great. His first base glove is not as good as his third base, but his movement and his size, he fits first base better. If they give up prospects for this, I'm not on board. If they give up a bad contract and someone that is not a part of the future, then I'm okay with this. But Arenado has to come here, Eric, and he has to perform. I mean, if you look at their career numbers right here, okay, I just did a stat cast for their entire career. Obviously, Arenado's 20 more WAR. People will say, well, he played in Colorado. He's got 341 home runs, 1,132 RBI. He's got a lifetime 285. He does have an OPS of 857, 10 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Sluggers, 8 All-Star games. We know the history is there. But Houston fans are tired of the back of the baseball card argument. And if the Nolan Arenado, again, signals that we have to trade prospects, it goes against what Dana Brown was brought here to do. It goes against, in Kyle Tucker, we got one prospect. I'm really excited about the said prospect, but we didn't get more. So if we lose somebody or we trade someone we just gained to get Arenado, it makes no sense to me. So there's a lot of comments. Chris Reyes popped in first, and he was like, what are the Astros even doing? And you and I are trying to make sense of it. And the bottom line is we're looking at the fiscal calendar. Who are we paying? How much are we paying? How much does this team have to spend? Number one. Then 2026, we have a new collective bargaining agreement. There is going to be talk about salary caps, about deferred salaries and all this stuff. The Astros are not like a lot of clubs who are set up with all these crazy inflated, salaries after this year. They lose a lot of money off the books this year. So are you taking on too much liability with Nolan Arenado? Can he revamp his career? He had a down year last year, but can he be all-star Arenado in this lineup with Yordan Alvarez, with, now Isaac Paredes, with Altuve, these guys? And if you bring in a Santander as a result of this, I'm not that upset about it. But Arenado is older. I need to know, Dana, what's the cost? Am I trading away prospects? Because if I'm trading away prospects, you're telling me we don't have any prospects that are ready. They don't trust that DeCenzo is ready. They don't trust that Whitcomb is ready. They don't trust that Bryce Matthews is ready. So are they going to trade Bryce Matthews? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are they going with this? It makes sense in some respects. It doesn't make any sense in others. So I guess only time will tell. And right now, are we speculating upon speculations? And yeah. I'm not accusing Rome of trying to get clicks, but it goes against the grain of what Dana Brown's been saying about building the farm system. What do you think about that take?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what Ari Alexander just tweeted a few minutes ago, what he said. We'll talk about that after the break. But I do want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about his contract. The Rockies are paying $5 million of his contract for the next 2 years. So that is $10 million that'll be off of it. So he's owed $74 million for the next 3 years. And so of that, it's only $64 million. You probably can get the Cardinals to pay down some of that. It will be a full tax hit. So no matter how much money they're sending, it's going to be against the luxury tax. It's going to be against the CBT. So that will be a hit. But this is if the Astros feel like they need to do this and go trade for an outfielder, they are trying to stay competitive. They really felt like they couldn't re-sign Kyle Tucker. So this is what they feel like they have to do. So we'll talk about what Ari Alexander said next. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
FanDuel.com is a place you need to go to place all your bets this season. That's right. Coming up Monday night, we've got the Broncos and the Browns. Before you say that's not a great matchup, the Browns upset the Steelers last week. Can they do it again? And if you bet that first $5 bet on Cleveland with a plus 210, then you would win $150 in bonus bets. That's right. Get the app. Why? Because anytime you get a hunch middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, live play-by-play, and so much more on the same game where you place your bets. Go to FanDuel.com today just to join. Again, $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet at FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go ahead and check us out. So I know that we were talking before the show, and we're still trying to decide what the Astros are trying to do. They are definitely trying to rebuild the farm system, but at the same time, if they trade for Arenado, if they go out and try maybe even trade for an outfielder, or maybe even sign somebody that like a Santander, that you'll have to give up I think he's got a qualifying offer attached to him. So you'll have to give up a pick. But this is what Ari Alexander had to say. He said, the Astros are showing interest in trading for Nolan Arenado. Two sources do confirm, but they are still in on Alex Bregman, according to three sources. So,
wow. So let's just call this the Alex Bregman saga.
You don't know, say.
Hey, si se pueda with Alex Bregman. I think we can still do it, okay? So here's the deal with Alex Bregman. If Alex Bregman wanted to be here, he would sign.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Houston, you love Alex. And I'm not saying Alex doesn't love Houston. Alex has done a lot for this community. And I don't begrudge Alex for going out to get that bag. Nobody should. If you were in his shoes, you'd do the same dang thing, and you know it. So enough of this. Players need to be loyal like they were in the old days. Well, you know, in the old days, they weren't playing for hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? Because ask Mike Stanton 10 times out of 10, if he were offered a mega contract or stay with the Braves of the Yankees, he would take the mega contract because he didn't play in the days of the mega contract. He didn't play when it was poor, but he also didn't play when it was a mega contract. And so that's what we have to look at this. That's how we have to look at this situation. Alex Bregman's going to hold out. The Astros, though, if they are going to show interest in Bregman, it's going to be because they're trying to finagle something else. I think they have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. And that's actually excellent reporting by Ari Alexander. You know, Ari's been on the show before. I love that guy. He does a phenomenal job, covers the Astros. He has a lot of really solid sources. So the Astros are still in on Alex Bregman. They pay him 6 years, $180 million, maybe give him $15 million signing bonus. You give him around $200 million. That's a lot of money. Or you let Bregman walk, you bring on Nolan Arenado, and you get creative, Dana, like you said all along. You bring in Arenado, you have the Cardinals eat some of that contract, you give them Ryan Presley, you get rid of your second setup guys. You have two setup guys now in Abreu and Presley, and then you go get Santander, okay, who's a legit left fielder. And if you don't, outfielder, if you don't get Santander, then Eric, I've got some options for you. Would you like to see them?
Sure, Brett, you're going to show me anyway.
Oh, come on, man. You act like you don't want to see my cool idea.
Just do it, Brett.
Thank you. All right, I was that kid in class. Teacher, you want to see what I just drew? What is that? It's a house. It looks like an elephant. Anyways.
Not really, Brett, but go ahead.
So, we have Jason Hayward. Now, these are budget moves. Hayward, Verdugo, Winker, Kepler. Now, I know I'm not looking at the comments, but I know y'all like, oh, that's horrible. Come on, man. Wheelhouse, you don't know ball. I'm telling you, if they pay Arenado, if they have that money that they're having to give up, or if they pay Alex Bregman, they need somebody else. I do not want, look, I need my guy Dubon to be a utility guy. I wouldn't mind Max Kepler. Yeah, I see Chris Reyes. I knew Chris Reyes would be throwing up. Out of this group, I would go Kepler, or Verdugo. I don't like the options, but they are cost efficient, major league veterans, not as old as Hayward. And who knows? I mean, heck, the Rangers are talking to Jock Peterson right now. Why don't we go talk to him? Why don't we
no.
Jock Peterson? Come on.
No.
Heck, we could always, I'm joking. We could always bring back Robel Garcia. I'm joking. I digress. But
Why?
But you know,
let it go, Brett. Let it go.
No, hey, I'm like a Dodgers fan in 2017. I love talking about Robel. Hold on, let me get some coffee out of this amazing Locked On mug.
Let me get some Dr. Pepper out of my hefty mug.
Oh, whatever. You know you got some of Grandpa's cough syrup in that thing. But anyways, what do y'all think? I want to know. There you go. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you only poured that. But I digress. I'm pretty sure. What? Hey, dude, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So my question to y'all is this: what do y'all think about this Astros dilemma? Would we call it a dilemma, Eric? Because what do you do? Are we really waiting on Bregman? Has Bregman really indicated that he's willing to take a hometown discount? Because that's what he's going to take. Now, also, if Bregman's market was so big and bad and people were clamoring to pay him $200 million, don't you think you would hear a whole lot more about that? I've heard crickets. I heard Boston is out on him because he's going to block several minor league prospects that they have a lot of promise in. Okay.
I've heard that they're not so confident he can play second base. That's what I've heard.
I've also heard, I've heard the Yankee thing. I really doubt the Yankee thing. It would be wild. A team like the Dodgers or the Padres on the West Coast or the Giants, I don't know. And I don't even know who has positions to fill out there. I thought originally maybe he would go out to Arizona, but they re-signed Suarez. All right. But let me see what y'all think. Give us your comments. Signing Bregman is going to be bad. He's declining. So see, there's that thought process in Houston. Why are we going to sign this guy at all this money? He's declining. Well, I don't know. They're considering signing Arenado. I don't know if
trading.
Oh, well, okay. They're talking about bringing Arenado to Houston.
Trading for
bringing him to Houston.
Speaking of miss saying something, I did yesterday. A lot of Cubs fans got really insulted when I said that that the new guy the Astros traded for, can't remember his name, Cam Smith. I said he was the second top prospect in Cubs system. He was actually the seventh top. I don't really know the farm system that well, but what I think I heard or read was that he was the second best third base prospect. And Matt Shaw, of course, was the best, but I think that's so. I meant to say I just missaid that. So I apologize to any Cubs fans who I insulted. That wasn't my.
I don't think you insulted anybody. No, hey, to say this, we actually have some new subscribers that are Cubs fans.
Yeah.
And we have subscribers that are Phillies fans, Yankees fans. We got Dodgers fans. Believe it or not, people from the Mariners even subscribe to us. People from the Rangers subscribe to us. You know why? Because we come at this with a wholesale approach and that we're looking at all perspectives. We're not here trying to slam other fan bases. Now, if you come into my comments and you jump on this show and you want to jump on us and jump at us, we will. Hey, if you can dish it out, you better be willing to take it. But we, I think, are reasonable and fair here. Now, we are trying to rebuild our farm system. So that's the big question with Arenado.
And we're retooling too. So the Astros are trying to do that, but they're also trying to win now. So they're not doing what they did with the process. And a lot of people are saying, well, I don't understand what they're doing. So they are trying to find a way to do a mixture of both. So if they can find a way to trade maybe a major league piece, I don't know who they would trade, but it has to be somebody. I don't know if it'll be somebody like Presley, but somebody that is on the major league roster that they think they can afford for, as part of the Nolan Arenado trade, take on a big chunk of the salary and then go ahead and maybe throw in a prospect or so. It's okay. They are retooling. You're going to have to give up something. If they're talking about Nolan Arenado, it's likely going to happen.
Hey, give up freaking Jake Myers or Chas McCormick.
That's not how it works.
That is how it works. You don't give up a prospect if you're rebuilding your prospects. You don't give up a prospect for an aging contract. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Right here. If you're rebuilding your farm system, why do you keep trading your prospects? That is correct.
Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know if they're trying to rebuild or trying to save money.
Eric said it first. They don't know what they're doing. Are you saying the Astros don't know what they're doing?
Yeah, they're trying to figure that out. They're trying to balance, to stay underneath the luxury tax threshold. They're trying to rebuild the farm system. They're trying to win. So the Astros are trying to do.
But here's
they're trying to shed salary. Well, then what are all these rumors? We've heard about Arenado. We've heard about them doing this. Then why are we even talking about Santander? Like, why would we be talking about that?
Because it would be a contract that they sign, not a bad contract that they have on the books. They've already talked about signing Alex Bregman. They've already been willing to pay $168 million, whatever, to Alex Bregman. So that's money that they've allocated to spend. Okay. But what we didn't allocate to spend is taking on an aging contract. So after the break, let's talk about this a little bit more. I got a point to make. And Lindsay gave us a compliment. She said we do a great job. And I want to mention something about Loper Fido. If I had a time machine, I would do one thing. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is America's #1 app to get tickets from any event. And if you go to Game Time today and use a promo code LOCKEDONMLB, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Hey, go get those Texans tickets. Go get those Rockets tickets. Go get those Astros spring training tickets. Whatever it is you can find on Game Time, go there, get it. Mannheim Steamroller, Christmas concerts galore here in Houston. If you like the ballet, if you like the opera, if you like comedy shows, they've got it all. They have these super deals where they remove all the fluff and they only go to the tickets you want. You don't have to go through thousands of tickets. And what's cool is you have it on your app. I literally have walked up to Minute Maid. Yes, I said Minute Maid, to an Astros game, put in my seat choice, what I wanted. Within a minute, I've got the ticket. Boom. I'm going through the scan, going through the little thing where they scan my face and get all my vitals and my DNA. And I go to the baseball game at a low cost, right? So right now, if you go to if you go to Game Time and use the code LOCKEDONMLB, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. What time is it? Game time.
Mannheim Steamroller. I went to ballet, so I can't make fun of you for that.
Okay, hold on. No, whoa. Okay.
How do you even know that? What is that?
Dude, electric guitars in the orchestra in light shows in Christmas music. Come on, man.
I've never heard of that.
Eric, I'm telling you right now, dude, I'm revoking your man card. You know what a ballet is, but you don't know what Mannheim Steamroller is? Like, dude, like freaking.
I know how to take women on dates. That's what I know. So.
Oh, wow. Man, Eric's going low. That's okay.
Hey, guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple.
I remember that come wedding day. Hey, no, but seriously, Eric, here's the thing. I want to get on this real quick, okay?
Okay.
If I had a time machine, I would go back and I would put another piece in place for Joey Loper Fido, and I would have made Joey Loper Fido my first baseman last year. I would have put him in at first base. I wouldn't have tiptoed around it. I would have said, Joey, you are our first baseman. John Singleton, you are the platoon. And when we need Joey to get a rest, we need Joey to get more ABs, we can bring in Caratini if we want to at first base, or even freaking Diaz. But I would go back. I would keep Loper Fido. I would find somebody else to send them. I would send them a DeCenzo or a Wickham. I would keep Loper Fido. He would be my first baseman. That changes everything in this whole conversation. Do we get Isaac Paredes in that? Do they want him playing third? Would we go harder after someone like a Suzuki instead of Paredes? Now, Suzuki would have to give up his no trade clause. We know that. And I know everybody's saying, oh, Loper Fido's not that good. Loper Fido's not that great. He never had a chance to play. I saw him taking first base practice at Constellation Field several times. I saw him play at first base. And I know y'all say Loper Fido isn't good. Look, I'm just saying that would take care of things. That's what I would do. Maybe you wouldn't do that, but I would do that. And yes, hindsight's always 2020. I know he hit 215 with 95 strikeouts, Little Bill. But at the same time, I think that would change this whole conversation. My problem is, Eric, you said something that concerns me, and I don't know that it's the case, but the fact is you said they don't know what they're doing. In other words, are they aiming at nothing? Or what? I mean, what is the goal here? Because Dana has stated, we're going to keep Kyle Tucker in an Astros uniform for the rest of his life. Then he's like, we're going to build the farm system. And then he trades prospects for a rental, and we don't keep that rental, right? And now we got Nolan Arenado on the table. It might take prospects to get Nolan Arenado. So are we building the farm system? And, we're not going to tank in 25. They're clearly competing. Tanking apparently is illegal, but it still happens. And I mean, we're not going to see a top 20 pick, Eric, in probably 2 or 3 seasons. So we've got to do something to build our farm system. I don't know how you get that done.
And the problem is, if you just mentioned that they can't if they keep continuing to win. So it's rob Peter, pay Paul. It's like the same situation. So they're having to find creative ways to get to where they want to be, and they can't do that with continuing to win. And I think the reason why they don't know what they're doing, it's not that they literally don't know what they're doing. They're waiting on Alex Bregman to make his decision. And Alex Bregman is that. It's not that it's a bad thing, but he's that indecisive guy. He's trying to make that decision. Do I want to get back to my ex-girlfriend, or do I want to go get with these other hot chicks that maybe have a little bit more money than my ex-girlfriend? And so he's just trying to make that decision. And the Astros are just not ready to quite move on. And so that's the situation they're in. They still want Alex Bregman in their life. They still need him, but at the same time, They can't. They're having. It's a Hallmark movie. It's a Christmas Hallmark movie.
Oh my gosh!
Where Alex Bregman comes to town, and you have Jim Crane there. And
hold on, stop. Wait, you don't know what? Okay, you don't know what Mannheim Steamroller is, but now you're talking about Hallmark movies, Eric. So, dude, no, this is
I was
great.
Married before.
Hey, this is great. Hey, me too. All my exes live in Texas. Anyways, Paid Enthusiast says re-sign Breggy and sign Christian Walker to 4 years, $100 million. Best advice I can give the Astros. That's great, but will Bregman sign, and will they also give $400 million to Christian Walker? Walker's only asking for 3. Walker is not asking for 4. Why are you going to give him a 4? Give him 3. He's been offered 363, I think. Some people are saying. I would love Christian Walker. But if you get Christian Walker and you sign Bregman, then why the hell did you get Paredes? So that actually doesn't solve your problem, Paid Enthusiast. That actually just combobulates your problem. Seeing Bregman come back with a bag of HEB chips and open arms. Hey, man, I think we would all welcome Alex Bregman back. But Hallmark movies get happy endings, and this one looks like actually this is a Hallmark movie that turns into a lifetime ending. Okay, that's what this is.
Oh, you know what Lifetime is. Okay, Brett.
Yeah. So, but see, Dana Brown, this is what you're doing to us, man.
Yeah.
You're getting us off like I feel like I have vertigo right now, baseball, wise. I don't know which way is up. I've got to get outfield help. Surely Dana doesn't believe himself when he says they're going to put Chaz in right and Myers in center and find a left fielder. Surely he doesn't believe that. Surely. Really? Come on, man. Like, can we stop with this? Like all these shenanigans?
Is this true? Or is this old news?
A's are trading with the Rays. Jeffrey Springs to I don't know. I'll look it up. Okay. Oakland got another relief pitcher. Isn't Springs a relief pitcher?
He was a starter back in the day, but
left-hander Jeffrey Spring from the Rays, Jeff Passan. Sources tell ESPN about they're trading with the A's. The A's are finalizing trade to acquire left-handed Jeffrey Springer. I'm sorry, Springs, not Springer. Good Lord. And dude, I got people.
But to go off of this, like losing Tucker and losing all the Bregman. All these stars except for Garrett Cole they have gone off to not really do much with other teams. And so they haven't really they've been really superstars with the Astros, but we don't know. But we know that with Alex Bregman, he did say last night, Alex Bregman's status is still the way it is. Nothing has changed since the last time I talked to you guys. We've been busy with a lot of things. I realize that he's probably been busy trying to find a landing spot. It's pretty much the same way we were on Tuesday. So we don't know what's going on. So my whole analogy is we don't know. And I think the Astros are just waiting on Alex Bregman. They're waiting for him to come home to Candy Cane Lane and just tell Santa Claus they have Santa Claus there to say you should go pick the Astros.
Eric's trying to find every analogy to use today. This is great. Someone just sent me a text and it says, I think Chandler will end up whiffing on the Arenado news. I don't know. Look, what Chandler, and let me explain what these guys do.
Alexander backed him up too.
Right. What I'm saying is what Chandler, what Ari, what Brian McTaggart does. And Brian McTaggart doesn't do it as much because he's more of a beat writer that works for MLB.com, right? But what they do is literally people that are close to the organization, people that they trust, front office people connected with them, they get information. And from what I understand, and after having several conversations with Chandler Rome personally, with talking to Ari in person, even Jason Bristol, all these guys, local media, Randy McAvoy, they don't put stuff. They're not clickbait heroes. They're legitimate journalists and they're not. I don't think they're trying to get clicks. I think they hear something. They try to corroborate it with, like Ari said, 2 or 3 other sources say this, and they try to deliver to us what is right. Now, does every journalist do that in the country? I doubt that, but I trust our local guys, Eric. And I think this is something to talk about. I think it adds an interesting wrinkle in the saga of what will Alex Bregman be? Will he be an Astro? Will he be a Red Sox? Will he be a Yankee? What will he be next year? But it seems like this isn't going to end anytime soon. But I really hope it's done by the end of December, because by January, you need your guys in their offseason programs. They need to know where they're going to be going for spring training. We don't need to have another Boris crazy offseason where his guys are not signing till late spring training or June. We need
Bregman's not going to have that
going on. I'm just saying we need to find out sooner rather than later. Fromber's staying here. He's not getting traded. He will be here for at least one more year, and I think we go from there. But Eric, I think it's still likely that Alex Bregman still is a Houston Astro next season, and okay. I didn't think I would have said that 5 days ago.
All right, so let's end the show with this question. Which Cardinal is more likely to end up with the Astros? Paul Goldschmidt or Nolan Arenado?
Nolan Arenado, because I haven't heard anything on Goldie. The oldie
okay.
Goldie. I think Goldie's too old. 37.
Okay. So you think there's a chance. So it's what I'm saying about Arenado. So I think there's still a chance that this can happen, and you're going to have to give up. I think I think Dana Brown is trying to find his way and trying to figure out what he's going to do. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But I think that sometime before Christmas, this is all going to get settled, because they want to know going into the new year what their team's going to look like. And people like Alex Bregman and some of the big free agents, most of them want to know where they're going to be before come the start of new year. So I think that once Alex Bregman signs, you're going to see a whole bunch of moves across the league. I think a lot of teams are waiting for Bregman. A lot of teams are waiting for Burns as well.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Burns. I mean, there's still some big contracts left out there. Oh, I don't know if you heard this real quick. Vlad Guerrero Jr. turned down an extension offer from the Blue Jays. Yeah. So he's going to bet on himself after his free agent year. He's going to get a lot of money. Big contract handed out in 26.
I did see Brian McTaggart with something that I've been talking about. He said that the Astros, if nothing else happens, they could always go out and get a power left corner outfielder like a Anthony Santander. He didn't mention that name, and then bring in somebody like Carlos Santana, to play first base for 1 year.
Very true. Very true. All right, man. Well, hey, it's a great show, Eric. Thank y'all for tuning in this morning. Y'all are the best. Thank y'all for your opinions. Even if you disagree with us, that's why we love you, because you think for yourselves. And that's what we want here at Locked On Astros. Just remember to subscribe to us. Share our show with your friends. Give them the gift of Locked On Astros this holiday season. And go Stros. Mannheim Steamroller, really? You didn't know about that?
No, I thought it was something else.